Welcome to the Fast and the Curious, where we talk about cars, speed, and everything in between. While usually we do deep down conversations about picking our guest's brain on our podcast, today we're taking a slightly different route. We're switching gears up a little bit, wherein we're going to understand what a German engineering marvel is. I don't want to dive too much into the intro right now, but then see you on the episode wherein we'll talk more about this. Hello, my fast and curious family. Welcome to the first mini review series of the Fast and the Curious. So, even though we're a podcast, we want to diversify into the type of content that we do. And then this series is something that where we review some older cars, not necessarily when it comes to how we feel about them, but just in terms of the time it has been since the car originally launched in the Indian market, particularly. Before I reveal the name of the car, just looking at the interiors, can you guess what car am I driving? It's not that easy, right? It has a beige finish. It has a dual tone with hard plastic body, which is dark in shade. And then the upholstery and the seat leather is in a beige shade. I won't keep you guessing any longer. But then before I reveal the car, I just want to ask you a very important question. So for us as Indians, when I say German cars, what's the first thought that comes into our minds? Would you say reliability, excellence when it comes to their engineering marvels, their build quality? So, yes, today the car that I'm driving is a 2012 Volkswagen Vento, which is a diesel variant. It comes with a manual gearbox and it has the TDI engine. For those who don't know, TDI stands for turbocharged direct injection. So this was specifically made for Volkswagen and it is included in its other car lines also, including the Polo, including the Vento and many other cars that had launched back during early 2010s. So this particular Vento, even though it's a 2012 model, the fact that it has driven over 1.5 lakh kilometers. Yes, you heard me right. That's 150,000 kilometers that this car has ridden. That just proves and is a testament to the fact that German engineers, when they come to building pure engineering marvels, be it a petrol engine, be it a diesel engine, which this particular one is, they can hardly ever go wrong. There is a very less possibility that any German manufacturer, not just Volkswagen, be it a BMW, be it an Audi, be it Mercedes Benz, like they are known as the driver's car. All of the cars that gets produced from any of these brands factories is a pure driver's car. Like it's for the enthusiasts, it's for somebody like you and I who not just buy a car for the sake of driving it, it's the experience of the drive that matters. And I personally feel it's the engine, it's how connected you feel with the car and what the car makes you feel. That is exactly the most important thing that matters to us car enthusiasts. So yes, coming back to the fact that this car that I'm driving right now has clocked, I'll tell you the exact number, 1,53,822 kilometers. All of those kilometers are in its rear view mirror, guys. But then still, I'm driving this in the year 2025. That's approximately 13 years, give or take, depending upon what month of 2013 has this car been purchased. Sorry, not 2013, but 2012. That seems like 3 or 4 maybe FIFA World Cups ago. Yeah, I'm not that bad at math, but then yeah, I think it is 3 or maybe 4. You tell me. But the fact that the experience I'm having right now, the steering wheel, even though the car does not really have a touchscreen display, all of the new tech stacks and all the controls have been made touch first. Like, there is no physical element in either the AC controls. And I think it's only going to get more digital rather than being the conventional mechanical feel that this car still holds true to this day. So the steering wheel is so smooth. It is so refined. Like it doesn't seem like a typical diesel car. It doesn't seem like a jagged sort of an experience that somebody driving, let's say, for example, a Tata or a Maruti or a Mahindra would have launched their flagship cars way back in 2012. The refinement that this car and this engine has holds such a high pedestal that those cars can't really come close to the experience that this is giving me after 13 years too. But then this is the Vento. It is the elder sibling of the Volkswagen Polo. And that car, let me tell you, that was an enthusiast, performance driven car, especially the GT TSI. That car is a collector's edition right now. I don't know if you know this, but then Imran Khan, the nephew of Amir Khan, right? So he owned a Ferrari. A Ferrari. Imagine. But then because of the fact that he knew how crazy, how amazing the Volkswagen Polo is to this date, the Ferrari was replaced by that. Just imagine. Because he understands, I'm pretty sure he understands the immense pleasure one gets while driving the Polo. So the Polo is a punchy, fast, quick, agile hatchback. But then the Vento is its elder sibling. So it needs to be a little bit more mature. It needs to be a little bit more focused on comfort rather than performance. But then do not underestimate this car. It is powered by a 1.6 TDI diesel engine, which produces about 105 horsepower and gives out a peak torque of 250 Newton meters. These aren't rookie numbers. So you need to be behind the wheel to exactly know how it makes the driver feel, because it's a Volkswagen, it's a German car, and it's a driver's car. It's an enthusiast car. It's not just another car that you use to go from point A to point B and just have it be there for your daily activities. It does do that too, not denying it, but then it just doesn't do that. It's more than that. The Polo is the fun sibling, but then this doesn't lack fun to the point that it becomes boring. It definitely doesn't. At the end of the day, when you drive the car, be it cruising on a highway or even when you're switching between the corners and the lanes and exactly what I'm doing right now, this does a really fine job. Like, I don't really feel as if though I'm driving a car which doesn't give me the smoothness a brand new out of the showroom car will give me today. It does not. And trust me on that. So it then all boils down to whether you should buy one in 2025 or not. See, it's a very subjective answer, but the simple answer is yes. So if you're looking to get something which is timeless when it comes to its design, it doesn't really have the LED strips, the whole set of electronics, or rather even the most plush or polished interiors. It does not have ventilated seats. It does not have power controls for your seat adjustment position and in terms of height. It doesn't. It's all manual. But then that's where the magic lies. Like, I like touching the AC controls physically and changing them by turning the knobs around. I like, using physical buttons rather than touching sensitive buttons which go off on its own sometimes when I don't mean it to. I like all of that. This is something that a car used to be in its entirety. The personality of the car is still retained. And if you have a tight budget, if you're looking to shell out about 2 to 4.5 lakhs, depending upon how well the car has been maintained, how solid the engine still is, which I feel should not be really a concern for anybody who's looking to buy this, just go for it. Don't even think twice. It does the job of being daily driver to take you from your home to your office. Then once you're done with work, you can spin it around in the city late at night, going all the way from Andheri down to Nariman Point, taking a long trip off the newly built coastal road. Or you can take it out on weekends maybe. Go out for a road trip. Go out with your friends, your family, your kids, and it still packs that much fun in a similar manner that a newer car will give you. So, German cars, German presence, German reputation in India. And it has had such a huge impact on all of the other Indian brands, Southeast Asian brands, like the Kias, the Hyundais, the Marutis, the Mahindras, the Tatas of the world. All of these brands, no doubt about producing some wonderful, wonderful products. Ever since the last 5 years or so, 2020 onwards, with this change and shift in the design element, they have upped their game. But again, stressing back on the fact that the refinement, the luxury, or the perception of luxury also for something like a Volkswagen, because even though this may not fall into that bracket, it definitely makes you feel premium. What do you think? Should you get a Volkswagen Vento or any used car that is more than 10 years old in the Indian market? Or do you want to get something fresh off the lot with the new electronics, with the new technology? Hit like, tell me your thoughts in the comments of this video. And at the end of the day, I think I just want to close this video by saying that in this world of cars, it's not just about the destination, more so than it is about the ride. And this car definitely will make the ride worthwhile. Follow us for more such engaging content and for everything that is fast, loud, and is a head turner. Stay fast and stay curious. See you on the next one.